Hi, and welcome to Lexer's Tips and Tricks series. I'm Cal, and I'm part of the training team here at Lexer. This series will show you some clever features in the hub that will make life using Lexer even better. In this video, we'll focus on helping you out with Respond. If you're a Respond expert or just getting started, you'll find some handy hints. So firstly, what is Respond? Respond consolidates all of your social channels in one place. For example, your social media, emails, and SMS. You can then filter through these messages and reply. You can also send out templates, bulk replies, and branded forms, among other things. Being able to reply to everything from one place is super convenient. There's a bunch more functionality that can be achieved with Respond, so make sure after this video you have a look at some of our articles on Learn. This video will show you some tips to help you declutter, speed up your workflow, and add some new functionality to Respond. We all like a clean workspace. Having a tidy workspace helps you to focus and get into a flow with your work. You can remove some clutter and give yourself some more room to work in Respond with a few quick steps. Let's jump into the hub so we can show you some Lexer magic. I've just logged into the hub. Let's get started by navigating to Respond. At the top of the page, click on Engage, and below this, Respond. Once you've completed your deep dives and selected the messages that you want to focus on from your inbox, you can get the dive search and inbox out of your way to make more room to write your replies. You can minimize columns in Respond to increase the space available to you, allowing you more room to write wonderful, personalized responses to your customers' messages. To minimize the columns, click on the small minimize icon in the top right of the deep dive section. This will drop the column to the background of the page. You can reverse this at any time by clicking on the column. It'll instantly pop up to the front again, ready for your next deep dive. You can continue to increase the space available to you by resizing the text box, reducing the need for scrolling. This allows you to easily read through and check over your responses before shooting them off. In Respond, we can open up the message and again minimize the deep dive and inbox. Then we scroll down in the message to the Respond text box. In the bottom right hand corner of the text box, there will be two parallel horizontal lines. Click on these and drag the text box to your preferred size. Voila! You now have a nice big unimpeded space to write and proof your replies. Using these two tips together, look at how much more room you have available. The next section will help you speed up some common and recurring tasks in Respond. We'll get you flying through dives and create more time for the important bit, creating personalized responses to your customers. An awesome way to help speed up creation of your dives is to add filters by clicking on handles within the message. Let's have a look. Again, let's open up a message. Beneath the message you open, there are a number of small handles visible. They contain characteristics you might find useful for future searches, such as time or the channel the sender used, in this case, Instagram. If you click the time handle, it will add the time sent, plus or minus 1 day, as a condition to your search. You could also click on the channel the customer used to send the message. In this example, I can click on the Instagram icon. This will add Instagram as a condition to the search. So in this search, we've now added two parameters. We've added a time period, plus or minus a day, and Instagram as the channel. You can see these added at the bottom of the current dive. Any other messages during this time period on Instagram would show up in this search. Do you use the related objects filter? It's a really handy tool. Let's say you've started a new campaign and posted on your socials. If someone comments on the post and you reply through Respond, you can then add this campaign to a deep dive with one click. Right next to the handles in a message we were just looking at, you can see a little plus sign or the little magnifying glass when you're in the context tab. Little magnifying glass is a little bit easy to use in my opinion. This will add to the search any related objects. For example, it will let you search for any other comments on a similar post in your deep dive. You can then adjust the main search term to all socials to see if there have been any similar interactions on other platforms. You can then save this as a dive, as it will help you effectively monitor anything on that campaign. There's nothing worse than having that groundhog feeling when you have to continually repeat a process, especially when it's a process you're doing a few times a week. Saving dives lets you use the same dives over and over with a few clicks. Let's give it a go. To save a dive, you need to start by figuring out a dive that you'll regularly use. In my example, I've added in the current state filter, so I can create a search that will allow me to look at all assigned and in-progress messages. A useful dive if you want to monitor the current open tickets being worked on. Once I'm happy with the dive and I would like to save it, click on the action button at the bottom of the dive. Two options will come up: Save Dive and Apply Bulk Action. We're going to click Save Dive. All we need to do from here is to fill out the details in the form. Give the dive a name, description, category, and a colour. We can also set up notifications for the dive. This might be particularly useful, for example, if you have someone monitoring a particular campaign. Alternatively, we can turn these notifications off. Once saved, the dive will be added to your saved dives, right next to the current dive option. Don't miss out on any cool features. Let's make sure you're getting the most out of Respond. A handful of tools within Respond can help your support team really excel at providing well-written and informed responses. These tools are the Context, Profile, History and Template tabs. Before you shoot off a response, why not deepen your relationship with the customer with some personalisation? For the following examples, we're going to need a message open in our inbox. The Context tab focuses on the conversation. It will allow you to see all interactions in this conversation. This could include comments from other people in the thread. It's particularly useful for public posts, for example, looking at Instagram comments. Let's have a look at an example. We can see a message from Johnny in our inbox. If we want some context for the conversation, we can click on the Context tab. This will show the post and any other comments made on the post, so we can properly reply to Johnny within the hub. The Profile tab gives you all sorts of specific details about the customer. You can then use this information further to personalise your response. There are 3 tabs: Summary, Attributes, and History. We will focus on the Attributes tab. The profiles in your hub will likely be far more detailed. This is just an example from our demo hub. So we'll look at a contact form response from Angel. Once open, click on the Attributes tab and you should find some helpful information about the customer. Beneath Angel's name, you can see a note written by someone else on the team who's interacted with Angel. Regular online purchaser, loves yoga, responsive to discount codes. These notes can be changed and updated. They're a great way to quickly provide the team with some helpful detail. You can scroll down to see the user's email, authentication details, personal details, and relationship details. This will change based on the user and the data you have available. We could, for example, use this note to add in some personalisation to Angel in our response. For example, "Hi Angel. Yes, there is a store in Melbourne Central. I noticed that you usually buy from our online store and you love our yoga range. There's a great range of yoga gear at our Melbourne Central location." The History tab focuses on a single profile. It outlines your back and forth with that profile, including notes, actions you've taken, and any closed messages. The engagement history shows all interactions with this customer in a nice, easy to navigate layout. Old cases are collapsed. You can see the customer's closed cases, a case number, and the open and closed dates for the case. The number on the left indicates the number of messages in the conversation. You can open up these conversations by clicking on the number, allowing you to quickly look through previous interactions. The Template tab allows you to quickly respond to common queries using well-crafted responses created by the team. The team can collectively work on improving these templates over time, or you can use your own. If you're in the retail space, you will regularly receive pretty straightforward return request queries. You probably already have a template that you use for these responses. You can add these into the hub so everything is in one place. The example above shows a customer requesting a return. You can open up the Templates tab and look through the saved templates for something appropriate. We have a template labelled Return Policy that works perfectly. There's a little handle below it called Plus Insert Template that we'll use. This will instantly add the template into the message field so you can send it to the profile without the need for any copy and pasting. You're also able to edit the text once in the message field, so you can add some further personalization. From here, send the message by clicking Respond or Submit for approval. Scheduling responses to a particular group can be really powerful if you want to ensure you reply during business hours to someone in another time zone, for example. If you identify a message from someone in a different time zone that might not appreciate a response right now, as they're probably fast asleep, scheduling is a great solution. Let's use our template from the previous section as an example. There is a drop-down menu next to the Respond button that allows you to choose from 3 options. One of those is Schedule Response. You can select a delay period for the message or a date and time. Let's say you know this person will likely be awake and responsive at about 1 PM your time. Add this to the text box. You need to decide whether you would like to be notified that the message has been sent and when. Once you've entered a preference, click Schedule. To add closed conversations to your deep dive, click the search bar underneath and at least one of these. The default here is to be actioned. There may be situations in which you may want to add closed messages. If so, click Closed to add closed messages to the search. Now when you click Search, you'll see all messages that are to be actioned and closed. And that's our final tip. Let's recap. We ran through a few tips and tricks to help you declutter, speed up your workflow, and add some new functionality to Respond. Thanks for watching, legends. Stay tuned for the next one.